All right, so today we're going to do some updates for you. Now, winter here is really not exciting. It's pretty snowy, and now we're almost through the mud and the melt, and we're finally ready to start doing the fun stuff of homesteading. So today we're going to kind of take you through what's going on, and this will be our first update of the year. And we've been doing every other week, doing educational kind of tutorials of how to do things on the homestead, but we want to give you updates in the weeks outside of that. So we'll do a tutorial update, and we'll keep going that way. And hopefully a lot of the tutorial stuff you see us build and do will kind of fit into the day-to-day lives and show you kind of how everything all goes full circle to start to finish. So today we're going to do some updates of where we are and kind of what projects we have for this year.
So one of the things we do on the homestead to make a little bit of money is we sell and hatch out chicks, or rather we hatch them and then sell them. So for the first time this year, the incubator is full. We've got a mix of chicken eggs, duck eggs, turkey eggs, and keep your fingers crossed, some goose eggs. So hopefully we'll get some African geese this year. I don't know how much of it you can see, but I've built a new stand for the incubator. We were previously using a little side table that just really wasn't cutting it. I wanted some extra storage in the craft room, and so this is what we've been up to.
So today we're out doing laundry. It's a beautiful low 60s day, so we've got the sheets drying on the line. We don't actually own a dryer, which most people do the Scooby-Doo, when we say we don't own a dryer, we don't. They're really inefficient, and with being off-grid, throughout the winter, you've really got to be careful of your power. So a lot of times, we just either dry it in front of the fireplace, or beautiful days like today, we put them out on the lines. Now, as we're standing here in front of the clotheslines, we will mention some clothes. So we're doing apparel, or our in-house designer is doing apparel just like this one, if you're a rabbit breeder. All the rabbit breeds we're doing, some donkeys, some goats and that, we will have apparel for homesteading up on a cafe press. You can find it through our blog, for our homestead page on Facebook for Sprague River Homestead, or you could probably search it on Cafe Press itself and find all the lovely stuff we're creating for homesteaders.
Okay, so since this is our first update, we're going to talk a little bit about the rabbits. We actually breed 3 different kinds of rabbits. We do the Champagne d'Argents, the Americans in both blue and white, and the Harlequins in magpie and Japanese. And what we do with our rabbits, primarily number one is food, but I also show rabbits, and we sell them for pets and to help defray the cost of raising rabbits. So the things that have changed in the last couple weeks with the rabbits is we have cut back our American white herd by half. As a show breeder, I kind of went through and wasn't happy with the conformation on some of our rabbits, so off they went. We sold them to some people here in town that will be using them for meat rabbits because they are fabulous meat rabbits. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be adding some more cages into the rabbit barn. We've been dealing with mud. Unfortunately, the rabbit house is flooded this year during the melt, and so we are laying gravel throughout the walkway in the rabbit barns. And got some more shows coming up this spring, so that's what we're doing with the rabbits. Okay, so this is where we're going to be putting our chicken house this year. You can kind of see in the distance the mobile pins that we've been using for the last couple years. That doesn't really work here in the winter, so we're going to be building a brand new chicken house, about 12 by 20, very similar to the turkey building you can see in the back. We're also going to be building one for our waterfowl. We've gone ahead and we've made some changes to our chickens, so we've downsized a lot of birds in the last couple of weeks. Got some new chicks on order. What we found is that our local feed store started carrying a lot of the breeds that we were doing, and we just couldn't keep up with them basically on the price. We sell our straight run, of course, unsexed. They're selling pullets in town for what we were selling our straight run for. So we are transitioning to all heritage breeds with a couple of key exceptions. We'll still be doing our Americanas. And then on our turkeys, we've actually moved our standard bronze along, and we are going to be introducing another set of blue slates into our breeding program this year. So that's what's new in the birds. So one thing I've started in the last couple of weeks is sprouting some of my seeds. We have a really short gardening season here, so things like tomatoes, peppers, And some of our squashes we go ahead and try and get pre-started because they won't be able to go out in the garden until closer to June. That's when our danger of frost is actually passed. So these are tomatoes. I've got some melons and some squashes and peppers in the other room. And these guys are just about ready to be thinned and transplanted into some bigger pots. So I'll be doing that in the next 2 weeks.
So in addition to that, one thing we're going to have to do is rebuild our Harbor Freight greenhouse. This is one you can buy. It's about 3 years old, but the material in it really over time just kind of gets UV burned and gets real brittle, and obviously wind, 30-mile-an-hour winds, basically blow the windows out of it. So we've got a lot there. We're going to increase the thickness up to like a 6 mil plastic, replace all that and get that going, and put the doors back on so it's an actual greenhouse this year.
Okay, so one of the other things that we're working on now and we'll be working on for the next couple weeks is getting the garden ready. You can see we have a large garden full of raised beds. We're going to be adding some more. Right now it's all about cleaning out what's left over from last year and applying some manure mulch. So we're going to be doing that. You can kind of see this asparagus bed I already got done. So it's done, ready to go for the spring. I've got some rhubarb. And probably going to be planting potatoes in the next week. We can go ahead and get those started here already. So that's kind of what's going on right now.
One also fun thing to mention is that our nephew just turned 18 a few months ago, and he's getting ready for college. So he's going to go to the local community college here. So he's going to move in with us and go from a shock. He's kind of a city kid, where I was when I was his age. So we've got to introduce him to homesteading and a new lifestyle. We've got a room to renovate, new flooring to put in, some closet upgrades for him, and get him ready. So he'll be here in 2 weeks, about the time our next upload is coming up. So really that's kind of where we are right now, the beginning of April. And we're going to do these, like I said, about every other week. We'll give you kind of an update of what we're doing and why, and try to incorporate all the tutorials and educational pieces that we're trying to bring out the odd weeks. That's it from this time for Sprague River Homestead. If you have any kind of questions or anything you want to see more of in particular that we've shown you today, just let us know. We'll see you next time.